woman, this is so important to me because he's starting conversation.
It sounds like almost, is that Gene Kim on the other end? I meant to say Gene Rebel. Sorry, Kim, if you took it the wrong way.
Conversations and normalizing inclusivity.
And the reason why I say that is because it sounds similar to when he comes against Jonathan Clark.
Madonna was rolled. Sam Smith, by the way, who no longer identifies as a man or a woman. He's a non-binary person. I know. Don't even get me started. That rich.
Oh, what? What?
Ritual.
I was saying.
Okay, here's the ritual. Here's where they all turn on him right here. They all made a circle.
I just want to say thank you to whoever sent me this pen. I got sent a couple of them, and I was really appreciative of them because they have my name in it, and I signed checks with them. So thank you to whoever sent me the Royal Crown too, all of the predictions and stuff, like that one right there. It says Crown Royal. Amazing prediction juice. And I got sent a bunch of those in the mail when I was getting all my fan mail. Thanks, guys. At some point, this is going to be my backyard. In the winter, it'll actually be running into my backyard. Is that not what planet Earth looks like from heaven when you guys live there? Like that right there? That's your backyard and you see planet Earth. That's your view. Man, I can't wait.
They all turn on him right here. They all made a circle.
It is where they all turn on him. The one that doesn't claim to be male or female.
So his whole channel, the whole thing, just look at all the pictures. Look at this. This, my friend, is unhealthy. It's not healthy. And I'm praying.
It's going to be like, what were you doing when your clock struck 2/22/2022?
I can't remember
I
really.
know what I was doing.
What were you
I
doing,
was
Gene?
making a nerdiversary gift for Robin.
Me?
Now I have to restart my computer because something
Who are
screwed up.
you? Who are
So
you?
That's what I was doing on 2/22/2022.
Wow, I must be
Thanks,
important to you, huh?
Robin.
You're welcome.
And then it reminds me of, yeah, that's true. That's true. Why would someone that is the head commander publicly talk trash about me?
I was talking about Stephen James.
Publicly from the beginning.
Not Click, but
And then others did it
just
in their
behind the
way.
mask.
I think today's the 2nd year anniversary since Jonathan Kleck said, by the way, Robin, nerd. Yeah, I love you. You're in deep, deep trouble, Robin Hood and all you shills.
Sorry, Robin Hood and all you shills. You guys are in some deep, 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 deep trouble. By the way, Robin, yeah. Anyway, yeah.
Good, Steve? Did I do good? Yes, Steve Austin. You've read your script very well.
Hey, Robin, how's it going? I kind of feel like a dip right now, man. I had no idea that you and Johnny was going on your second nerd anniversary already, and I didn't even get you anything. But I'll tell you what, you can consider this an anniversary gift of sorts. I, for one, think you deserve it. So you know what I'll do?
What's
Just
that?
like Jonathan pretended to drop that magazine so he could get that super duper one-legged Photoshop revelation of his.
Oh, like
It
that, near that Chinese balloon that's being set off. Something like a boot like that. Something along those lines.
It seems like I may have accidentally left a file open in my Parthenogenesis folder. Man, I sure hope nothing escaped.
Now, I want to be very clear. I have always found the female body to be one of the most amazing, mind-boggling, attractive things ever.
Thank you.
That's why I ended up, probably getting in so much trouble. I'm serious. I had lots of girlfriends, lots of pretty girlfriends, went out with lots of pretty girls. By the way, Robin, nerd.
Who, me?
Yeah.
You sure you're talking about me?
Anyway,
I wonder what he's implying.
Whoopsie daisy. Clumsy me, I guess, eh? So I better stop it there. It looked like a little bit of DNA crossed over from Kleck's doppelganger female energy side. It looks like it might have crossed right into my serious blind man canopy landing coverage, too. Man.
So, you're showing a leg. You're confirming that, yeah, Jonathan Kleck definitely was talking about Robin's Hood when he was saying that. But it seems like you're referring to some type of a boot.
Arose the wrath of the great and powerful Oz.
All right. So what I'm doing here is a lot of things just may be random because I see certain things that I want to tie everything together. And maybe that prevents me from getting more information out. So at some times you just might see random things because of what I see on the screen.
in prison for my brother. Here's the two twins. Look at this. There's two twin females, and they're talking about Sophie's choicing your
My wife's
child.
name is Denise.
That's just insane.
Oh,
They're standing in line for what? A vaccine in The Simpsons. Where does Nathan work in Sophie's Choice? Who does he work for?
I wonder.
In the movie Sophie's Choice, because Merrick Quimby just said, use your time wisely in line to Sophie's Choice, your child. You know what's coming for the world? Jesus said is the worst horror the world's ever seen. Father will turn against son, brother against brother. Children will rise against their parents and cause them to be killed. You know, I was a sacrificial lamb in my family a whole lot of times for things I never really understood. I actually got put in a Mexican prison for my brother. For my brother. I took the fall from my little brother and went into a Mexican prison in Mexico. Yeah, for my little brother. I done
My wife
nothing,
said something about getting
but I was easier to
locked up in
sacrifice because it
Mexico
was for the good of the team, even though it was his crime.
her leg or something.
Anyway, a lot of stuff makes sense now in my life. So here we go. So again, there is the two twin girls. What did they do? What did they do at Auschwitz? What did they do? They did experiments on twins. Remember?
And that'd be something if I was an actual twin of a sister that was taken from my side at somewhere around birth time where I wouldn't remember. 'Cause I don't know, they sure do look like claws, my brother, but I don't remember seeing him with claws.
Tradition tells us that the army of the Messiah.
Rabbi Ariel Bar Tzadok. My name is Rabbi Tees. I was born in Bartow, Tzadok.
Is not to come from heaven, but is to arise from inner earth, and therefore dominate the surface world.
What do you know? There's your reptilian. There's that reptilian hand there. That the tradition tells them that the Messiah, that the armies of the Messiah come from inner earth. And what does Revelation say here? It says plainly, the beast that ascended out of the bottomless pit. Shall make war against them. Now also too, as I taught you guys recently, when you look at this scripture right here, the beast that ascends out of the bottomless pit. Well, inner earth is not a bottomless pit. But as I shared with you in that video about 6 months ago, what is that bottomless pit? When CERN and the CERN-like devices that are being used right now on our atmospheres above, they are able to open up a portal.
More subscribers. It was the wildest thing I ever saw. Apparently, people like seeing me go nuts.
Hey, he's going soon. I can't go more than 3 hours. I have to.
I was like, what? That blew my mind a little bit, but.
Man, it sure is quiet.
I don't know what else to say on that.
Considering for 3 hours, this is all you heard.
But anyways, Robin said that I called God's word. I know what I called him. I'm not going to repeat it. I know what I called him, and I'm going to stand by that statement. Sorry. I think that he is soft serve ice cream, and I'm Baskin 31 flavors. So Baskin Robbins 31 flavors. I'm just saying there's a difference. That's all. I would not listen to me. You think they're not saved, or you think they're trolls? They still probably will get saved, or can get salvation through the word of God. And I know that you would, but I don't have to make videos if I don't want to. I appreciate the sentiment from most people. I really do. If you guys think that I do, you didn't want.
Anyway.
Stop stomping a dead horse.
Beat him.
Why don't you attack Muslims? You know how they attack Paul like crazy, yet I don't hear you attacking Muslims, Robin. Why don't you go attack some... Forget it, man. Because I can't even tell you. You wouldn't even understand. You wouldn't even have a clue of what I actually do for a living. It's not to be rude. I'm not calling you out saying you're dog, or anybody for that matter.
Right.
You guys are nothing. You guys mean the world to me. And Robin, you do too, believe it or not. I'll just accept with you, dude. I don't hate you by any stretch of means of the imagination. By the way, you can watch Robin's video. He even said, I hope that... He didn't say I hope, but he's like, when you come back on, and I think that you should, or said that I should. when I calm down. I'm never going to be calm. I'm always going to be on fire like this. You don't understand who I battle on. Dude, I battle the devil on a day-to-day basis. Not only just in my own.
Look, Matt,
Not only just in my own.
Look, Matt, I gave you more exposure than anything, and you have the biggest problem with me. And I just need you to clarify that.
Guys, no, that's why he went to Eve first.
I can't talk to him.
And Adam,
He's not reading the comments.
By the way, the devil, Adam, Eve, and God were all right smack there. They had to have all been right there. They could have been that far off from one another. I know God was right there. Talking about this. I shouldn't even have said that because they're probably taking it.
That's right, I'm going to knock your teeth
Shut
out.
up. Rejoice that we're going to be thrown in camps. That's what God says. Rejoice that we're going to persecute you. I don't know what you want. Keep listening to Robin and y'all will be gone in May. He even said it. He even made another prediction Robin made. So he is a false prophet. Because when you make predictions and say, well, you'll see, Matthew, this year, Matthew, you'll see.
You will see.
Another prediction Robin made. So he is a false prophet. Because when you make predictions and say, well, you'll see, Matthew, this year, Matthew, you'll
February
see.
10th.
You will
I'll
see.
see what?
2023. February 10th, 2023.
And the recovering of the sight to the blind, to set at liberty those that are bruised, and to preach the acceptable year of the Lord.
Matthew, you'll see. You make predictions and say, well, you'll see, Matthew, this year, Matthew, you'll see. This year, Matthew, you'll see. See what?
Of the Lord. A deep silence. Acceptable year of the Lord. A deep silence falls on the 66 reporters in the crowd, and those in attendance begin to process his words. 66 reporters in the crowd.
There's 66 books in here. Where's Robin's book at? Can you guys show me where Robin's, put it on the screen where Robin's book is? So
A deep silence falls on the 66 reporters in the crowd, and those in attendance begin to process his words. No, what are you doing, kid? Colin worries. Stick to the plan, he says to himself, knowing Thomas will not. The sound of locusts chirping fills Thomas's ears. The sound of locusts chirping fills Thomas's ears.
9 hours ago,
The
when I recorded
demons
it.
will listen
19
to
hours
his
ago,
words
when I made my
no more.
video.
and I'm getting more subscribers.
What is
Mine
that?
was
Wow,
first.
I ever saw. Apparently, people like seeing me go nuts.
He's going soon.
Hey, you have to hold
I
that
can't
chat.
go more than 3 hours.
Right? Hold that chat 18 hours ago.
That blew my mind.
9 hours ago.
You sure are quiet. Was it something I
Those are
said?
good questions there with the locust. I like that.
The Spirit of the Lord is upon you. What does that mean, the Spirit of the Lord is upon you? A reporter from the Tribune asks in the most devilish of ways. It means I am one who makes a way for others to see.
Instruction, buddy.
Because he doesn't know. I can tell you what you're going to see. Nothing, unless it's the 7-year peace treaty and the temple and the Antichrist. You ain't gonna see nothing except the same.
Antichrist comes on, you won't see anything. Almost 5 years ago. In another less than a month.
I don't think you always see it. Things getting worse and worse. More pestilence, more war, more death, more strife. Worse. No.
Steal the Krabby Patty secret formula. Crabs will never recognize me wearing these glasses.
Blowing a bubble. And it looks like she's blowing a bubble. Hope General Hospital, Bartow, Florida. Bartow Regional. Medical Center. Oak General Hospital, Bartow, Florida. Barbara Jean, Mother, Kupczynski. You can even go from Lakeland Regional Medical Center to Polk Hospital, Bartow, Florida. Sure, get that right. Polk General Hospital. Let's see what could be happening on the General Hospital tease for February 13th, 2023, the day after the Super Bowl.
What are you doing here? Stopping you from making the biggest mistake in your life.
On the next General Hospital.
Can you really?
Okay, so Springfield General Hospital freak. Now this is even cryptic to the cat thing, and I'll show you what the words they used. It's really kind of raunchy, but I don't really want to go over it, but I think I need to.
General Hospital.
Talks about an unequal yoke. You know what he's talking about? There's a prohibition in the Old Testament that they were not to, when they would plow a field, put an ox and a donkey under the same yoke. A yoke is a wooden implement that they were not to, when they would plow a field, a farm tool, like a plow. An ox and a donkey under the same yoke. A yoke is a wooden implement that ties the animals together to pull a farm tool, like a plow.
I bet you probably think most of it was about
Don't yoke an ox and a donkey
About
together.
175,000.
Fear not, daughter of Zion. Behold, your king is coming, seated on a donkey's colt.
Wait, hey, Robin, what's going on?
He already told you that in the beginning, Clem.
3 hours. You can rewatch the whole thing, because I know you will. I bet you probably think most of it was about you. I was probably saying your name quite a few times.
About 175,000.
If he's live streaming, I'm surprised he hasn't commented and called me a Judas yet, but you know, it's fine.
No, I commented, said thanks for the laugh. You didn't get it.
Anyways, I have no soul in my soul.
Don't yoke an ox and a donkey together. Different breed, different size, different gait, step. One's a clean animal. The ox is clean, the donkey is unclean. There's just so many problems there. So
About
clean, the donkey is
175,000.
unclean. There's just so many problems there. So there was a prohibition. Don't
No, I commented.
have an unequal yoke in the farm. Now, when Paul
Let's do this.
And then I make a video.
Now he's lying his ass
Then I
off.
make a video.
Because I'm trolling him.
How I go crazy. I make a video.
All I remember was that alligator that some of you guys want to chase after. So
There he is.
So,
You know, I read that there's a species of alligator that is, well, if you look at it, you think the thing's lazy.
How many alligators are in Florida? Found it.
Eventually, a frog will jump into it, and there'll be, sooner or later, a whole party, an animal party, a menagerie of these creatures. And then, without warning, the earthquake comes. Boom! Closes it, party over.
Soar beyond the expected.
Lights are going out, folks, and they're telegraphing it right in front of you, in commercials with Chinese spy balloons and all the nonsense. And what you're seeing is the outward manifestation of the angel.
It's funny that China balloon is right.
That's all that is.
There.
What do you think the Little Deviants commercial is? And they come from under.
Oh, I see. You're getting ready to burst the bubble.
Chinese spy balloon that has captured the attention of the nation was brought. Balloon that is captured for many Americans as that Chinese spy balloon that is captured. A sense of relief for many Americans as that Chinese spy balloon that has captured the attention of the nation was brought down today after a week hovering from coast to coast. A military.
1 day ago, February. Oh, I see. You're getting ready to burst the bubble. And then I hear about this today.
Now underway to retrieve the debris off the down today after a week. Spy balloon that has captured the attention of the nation was brought down today after a week hovering
6
from
days
coast
ago.
to coast. A military effort now underway to retrieve the debris off the Carolina coast. Fox's Lucas Tomlinson has an update from the White House tonight.
Commercials with Chinese spy balloons and all the nonsense. And what you're seeing is the outward manifestation of the angel of the bottomless pit doing a commercial. That's all that is.
I think this witch right here is looking to spearhead the China balloon. The things that I don't even hear about, and then I say in the video, and then I find out later what it is. For example, the 49ers game that was already played with the score of 19-12. Didn't even watch it, didn't even see the score. I predicted a 19-12 game in the Super Bowl between the Eagles and the Chiefs. It was one of my, just one of the things I thought might happen. And then come to find out that in the playoffs, the exact same script that I was talking about, 19 to 12. Look, it happened. It already happened. Only for those of you that know that I didn't see it, and I show it to you because when I see things, I take snapshots, upload it, and here you go. February 10th is when I'm doing this, and a couple days ago, I realized what the actual score was. So it was already 0-3. So 3-0. Angel, the bottomless pit. And then it was 6-3. Cowboys. They scored a touchdown, but they missed the extra point. Right here. They missed. So it was a missed extra point. Then they tied it up 6-6. And I was saying, he looks like I was saying that by the game that I'm seeing being played out is going to be a game that's from the halftime would be 6-9 with 8 field goals, 6-9. Without watching this game, and here they go, they're lining up. Second quarter, 1 second left. It's 6-6. And don't you know it's a 50-yard attempt, and they got it. Look at that. I am blown away because of what I'd already predicted that I didn't watch, and then there it is. So when I'm saying it, people might have thought, yeah, Robin, we already seen that game. We already seen the game of the Cowboys and the 49ers. In the meantime, I didn't. And I'm going over my prediction of these field goals being scored. Not for, I wasn't saying Dallas and San Francisco. When Dallas and San Francisco were playing, I don't even think I was talking about it. I was talking about it more when the Eagles were playing. Let me check the dates. You notice that happened at 9:14? When I first started to head in this direction, just to try to start figuring out the script and the playoffs, it was January 27th. The first video, how I feel the score is going to be, I put it out there. Knowledge increases, it changes. I put it out there. It increases some more. It changes. I put it out there. Eventually, I'm going to make my final prediction right before the game. But these are just the predictions I had in the beginning, started on the 27th. So these games already played. I just started on the 27th. January 14th, 49ers beating the Seahawks, Jaguars, Bills, Dolphins, 31-31. So that's the 14th to 15th, 22nd, and the 29th. So I started between here and there. '27th. And this isn't Dallas and the Cowboys because I didn't even watch that game. I just started to pay attention to who the Eagles were playing. I wasn't looking at patterns. Now I'm looking at patterns. So 121, 125, 27. 27 right here is the first video with any football game title in it. So I started paying attention to it right there. January, is that 29? Yeah. January 27th, and then the 29th. After further review, Eagles versus Kansas City Chiefs, Super Bowl 57. I'm showing you that it's in Petco 2 where they're both at. Then 9 days ago, February 1st. Here's what I'm saying, February 1st.
Of Jonathan Soul.
Not that. What I'm saying is, I'm thinking, all right, it's going to be Eagles 44 and the Chiefs 13. And 6-9 at halftime. Didn't pay attention to any other scores. Didn't look at San Francisco. Didn't look at the Cowboys. Didn't look at the patterns. Those of you that see what I do, you know it's true. So I had already been thinking of a game that was going to be played in the playoffs, but specifically the Super Bowl, and I was saying that it would be a 6-9 halftime score. And then, don't you know, the 49ers and Cowboys back on January 22nd, 7 days before I started to pay attention to the sports and didn't look back on all the scores because I was looking ahead. I wasn't looking back. I was just looking at the Eagles. Are they winning? Are they beating the Giants? They beat the Giants. It was the 49ers game and the Bengals that I started to pay attention. I'm like saying in the video before, I don't even know if the Eagles won yet, because if they didn't win, then everything I'm saying goes out the door because I'm picking the Eagles to go to the Super Bowl and to win it. That's what I'm picking from the beginning. Because that's part of the script, and I believe that's exactly what's going to happen. Now I'm trying to predict the score, the total points, play-by-play, minute by minute, so I can really nail it down and get people's attention. Let you know that it's all a script, and here you go. But in my mind, I had already predicted this game right here. It already happened without me even seeing it. So, here's what happened. Dallas Cowboys come out. It's 0-3 San Francisco. Then the Cowboys scored a touchdown, missed the extra point, and 6-3. Missed the extra point. They tied it up 6-6. They're getting ready. San Francisco's getting ready to kick the field goal to make it 6-9 halftime. That exact thing that happened is the exact same thing that I was foreseeing in one of those scripts for the Super Bowl. It's like getting close to it. And then at the same time, the number 44, 31, and 13. They're all the numbers that I'm looking at. 44, 13, 9 days ago as of February 1st. And then I screenshot these and look at the patterns of everything. How the 31 is there. 31 Dolphins, Chargers, Jaguars, 31. Giants win over the Vikings, 31. They win by 7. Bengals win over the Ravens. They win by 7. Cowboys, 31-14. This is on January 16th. Chiefs, 27-20. They win by 7. Eagles, 38. They only give up 7 to the Giants. 31-point difference. Bengals, 27-10 over the Bills. And then Cowboys, 19-12. 49ers, 19. Cowboys, 12. They win by 7. Chiefs over the Bengals. They win by 3. Eagles, 31. They only give up 7 to the 49ers. The common denominator is 31 and 7 and 3. And because the Bengals gave up, or the Chiefs gave up 20 and the Chiefs gave up 20, it's like perfect vision, 2020. They gave up 40 points so far. 40 points so far. Eagles only gave up 14 points so far. $131. Combination of 19-12, 2 31s. 38-7. They beat them by 31. 321 patterns. Giants won 31-24. Cowboys won 31-14. Jaguars 31-30. And the Dolphins 31-34. That's 7 31s. 7 31 combination packages in the 2022-23 NFL playoffs. Now, the other number 7 with that is a combination, but also the number, what the team scores, the next team will either combine or score themselves or subtract 7 and it'll get. Because when the Jaguars played their next game, once they won, the Jaguars, they lost by 7. So their connection was 7. 31. What you have here, 31, you're going to lose by 7. Dolphins 31, they lost the Bills. The Giants 31, They scored 31. They won by 7. Their next game, they only scored 7 and lost by 31. They scored 31 on January 15th and lost by 7. Then they only scored 7 and they lost by 31, January 29th. That's the Giants connection with their loss. Cowboys scored 31 points to 14 over the Buccaneers. They beat them by 17. But on January 16th, they scored 31 points. And then the connection to the next game is, with the number 31, is that the total amount of scores, of points scored, is going to be 31, and they are going to lose by 7. Cowboys scored 31. Giants scored 31. Next game they played, Giants only scored 7 because they won by 7, just like the Cowboys won, total of 31. And then their next game was 31, and they lost by 7, just like the Giants scored 31, won by 7, only scored 7, and lost by 31. So that's the Giants connection with the 7 and 31. That's the Cowboys connection with the 7 and the 31. Losing by 7. I keep saying winning. Losing and losing. Chiefs, they won by 7 and gave up 20. Bengals, Ravens. Okay, they had to wait to play because they were top team, just like the Eagles. So when the Chiefs played the Jaguars, they only gave up 20. They gave up 20 on January 21st, and they won by 7. And then when they played the Chiefs 7 days later, they gave up 20 again, but they only won by 3. So they gave up 20 twice, 40 points. Bengals, they won by 7 over the Ravens. When they went to the next game, 24 and 24. And the Eagles with the 24 and the Chiefs with the 24 field goal points. 8 3-pointers. Now the Eagles 31, 49ers 7. Because the 49ers, they won by 7. So naturally, their next game, they're only going to score 7. And the Eagles are going to score 31. The 49ers total game was when they won by 7 and scored 31 total. When they went to the Eagles and played them, the Eagles scored 31 and they only scored 7. So there's a pattern of a subtraction because the Eagles scored 38 and the Giants only scored 7, which made it a difference of 31 points, just like there was 31 points here, just like there's 31 points with the Cowboys and 31 points with the Giants before that, and 31 points with the Jaguars and 31 points with the Dolphins. And the 7 being scored by San Francisco after they won by 7 to advance to the Eagles so they can only score 7. And then now the next pattern is 24 because 24 is only in here twice. The Bengals and the Vikings. The losing team and the winning team. And guess what? They both either won or lost by 7. And that's the 24 connection. There's 123 here, Seahawks. And there's 123 here with the Chiefs. So 24 comes from 31 minus 7. Now you got 24, and you got the number 7.
And now, what I want to show you guys is, I want to show you that statue and the akimbo power position. What this is, C, angel of the bottomless pit, which is the serpent. Serpent, sheep, 19 is slaughter. Okay, so now, is there any question that the thing that's going on right now called serpent, sheep, slaughter is not the final solution? You got to be... So yeah, here we go. So there you go. So now we're at 24, but I'm not counting this one. I'm just reminding you that we have 24 dead sheep right in front of you. Ready? So let's look at this. Here we go. Okay, if any of y'all want to go look at this folder yourself, please go to Special Projects 2. Right there, looks like a bunch of little bugs holding, like, I guess, people wearing masks, and it says COVID-19 on it. Okay, let's look at the next one. Counting sheep. Y'all ready? Start to keep track of the sheep. And when I...
Here come the little deviants. They come from underground. They're rising from the depths to take those sheeple down.
From 45 yards. All the way. It's good.
Them a lot, I believe. I just... see them a lot, I believe. Decade, Jim, we're going to see them a lot for the next decade, Jim. Outstanding team. 2 outstayed by the 2 superstars of Kansas City. 2 outstanding teams for the next decade, Jim. We're going to see them a lot, I believe. I just... decade, Jim. We're going to see them a lot. Down to the plays were made. Superstars of Kansas City.
I see a 61.7. After the Spirit of the Lord is upon me, because the Lord has anointed me to bring good news to the afflicted, brokenhearted. They will rebuild the ancient ruins. Strangers will stand and pasture your flocks. But you will be called the priest of the Lord. You will be spoken of as ministers of our God. You will eat the wealth of nations, and in their riches you will boast. Instead of your shame, you will have a double portion. And instead of humiliation, they will shout for joy over their portion. Therefore they will possess a double portion in their hand. Everlasting joy will be theirs. For I, the Lord, love justice. I hate robbery in the burnt offering, and I will faithfully give them their recompense and make an everlasting covenant with them. Then their offspring will be known among the nations, and their descendants in the midst of the people, and all who see them will recognize them, because they are the offspring whom the Lord has blessed. I will rejoice greatly in the Lord. My soul will exalt my God, for he has clothed me with garments of salvation. He has wrapped me with the robe of righteousness, as a bridegroom decks himself with a garland, and as a bride adorns herself with her jewels. For as the earth brings forth its sprouts, and as a garden causes the things sown in it to spring up, so the Lord will cause righteousness and praise to spring up before all nations. The beast which you saw was and is not. Even he is the eighth, and is of the seven, and goes into perdition. Even he is of the seven, even the eighth which you saw.
Before the fire. About Auschwitz, and I'm going to show it to you because I've gone and just done. Okay, here's what we're going to do. Done the few things I heard in my spirit. Go look at Auschwitz and Twins. And see the hat he's got on? They made it look like a rice paddy hat, like an Asian rice paddy hat. One of those. Yep. They did it on purpose. Where was allegedly this thing called COVID-19? Where did it allegedly come from? Well, gain of function Wuhan, right? Yeah. Okay, so here we go. Let's watch what they're doing.
All right, we'll get the vaccine. What's in the pile? Rags.
Okay, so Springfield General Hospital freak. Now this is even cryptic too, the cat thing, and I'll show you what the words they used. It's really kind of raunchy, but I don't really want to go over it, but I think I need to. It's raunchy. Free cat flu vaccines. Okay.
Something that's in every.
Uh-oh. Look at that. Because here's what happened. Well, please go here ASAP to get some very important updates. 1516 private. Is that why? Huh. Where are you at now?
All right, you guys, God bless you and welcome to This
Zach.
Is It.
Zach Wentz.
Before the Fire, it's coming, guys. As a matter of fact, you see that background?
Wow. Hold on. Here's what happened last night. Here is why the end of the world is here. Understand this and you will understand life. I clicked on it and then it said, this video is private. Here is why. There is no here is why. No here is why. So let's see why.
Behind me, that's printed on the U.S. currency on the $100 bill, and it shows that background being destroyed by tidal waves and nukes.
Man, doesn't that look like the William Penn building and the Liberty 1, Liberty 1, Liberty 2?
Chapter 6 verse 4 shows that when the tribulation starts, that the whole world will be at war with each other. But then again, there's another world war. In Revelation chapter 19 verse 11, Jesus Christ is making war with, verse 15, all the nations of the world. So at the end of the tribulation, there'll be another world war. But then again, another world war. At Revelation chapter 20 and verse 7 through 9, Satan is loose from his prison, and then he gathers the four corners of the whole world to battle against God, and they lose. But then again, we might have even more world wars.
Oh, I see. You're getting ready to burst the bubble.
World wars in the tribulation, because we had World War
I think this.
One before.
This currency on the $100 bill for the fire, it's coming, guys. Before the fire, it's coming, guys. As a matter of fact, you see that background behind me? That's printed on the U.S. currency on the $100 bill, and it shows that background being destroyed by tidal waves and nukes. Isn't that funny where we're at in the history of the world, that they're actually talking about exactly what I just said, that was some medical misinformation in it. One of the videos I did 3 or 4 videos ago, all of a sudden they've decided that there was some medical misinformation in it. The powers that be. There wasn't any medical misinformation in it whatsoever. As a matter of fact, I'm very diligent about tiptoeing around the things that they might consider, or something that they might misconstrue as that. But I'm also aware that I can lead you guys to a certain understanding just by plugging the correct word. Anyway, that I can lead you guys to a certain understanding just by plugging the correct word. I'm going to be right here. Okay, so that's the channel right here.
So go here to Zach WinTZ. So T's wins. Oh man, I think I'm going to win 16-15 Eagles in Super Bowl 57 by 1 point. That way, Vegas gets their money. You lose yours. But hey, the Eagles win the Super Bowl. How sweet is that? But man, oh man, if Liberty One is in that picture, in the background of what Jonathan Clegg is talking about, how bitter is that? Philadelphia. I can't stop it. I can only tell you what I see coming. The pyramid is your enemy. The premiere, it's coming. It's scheduled. Because I prepare for future strikes. Strike 1, strike 2, strike 3, strike 4, volume 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Because I didn't last time. I thought I did, but I didn't. This time I am because I sensed some suppression of information getting out there as soon as you surround the target.
Here. And I'm going to be
Oh, you're going to be a guest on my show? Oh, man,
guest.
how awesome would that be?
I'm going to be a guest over there while we're trying to sort out the other channel that I've been doing videos on. They've made some claims that just aren't accurate. So YouTube's going to be going on for a couple weeks right now, and I'm going to be a guest here. And then I want you guys to go here, though. This is uber duper important right here. Right here. Jonathan Clegg Uncensored. You see this right here? That's where all the videos are going to be loaded up. And you can also go check on Twitter, because we'll load links on Twitter. Every time there's a video, there will be a Twitter feed that shows you here's the video, where to go. You can get all the videos I've done for the past, I don't know, 6-7 years on Clegg Uncensored. I can speak without being reserved. I can say exactly what's going on. All right, folks. God bless you guys, and welcome to This Is It 4321. Guys, got some super cool, super exciting, super edgy news right now. As everybody knows, if you've turned on the internet at all today, you know that Elon Musk has taken over Twitter.
That was back then. Between the 6th and the 9th hour, special projects. Just go right here.
Bless you. Welcome to This Is It 4321 Before the Fire. Guys, I am freaking out. Dude, y'all are going to freak out. I'm freaking out.
Heads up. Zach T's win.
All right, you guys, God bless you, and welcome to This Is It.
All right, so I did my part to let everybody know.
Obviously, it's become very apparent that I've tied together the twins and something that could be causing the whole twin system to be tied together.
Kind of brought down to 1 point.
Oh, you mean the Eagles and Chiefs game? It's brought down to 1 point. Man, I don't know how to go. Is it 16 to 15 where do the Eagles score? And let me see how would this work. If the Eagles score, here's the Chiefs. Let's say they scored 3. Eagles. What if they scored 7 at first? And then they scored 10 at some point because now it's all field goals. And all the Chiefs can get is field goals. So they get 6. At some point they get 9. Then they get 12. Then the Eagles get 13. Then the Chiefs get 15. And then with the vortex, and Jacob Israel is talking about is all these field goals that are getting kicked, they're going to go right down the center because there's a vortex that all you got to do is just kick the ball up. It's like straight through. You can be a bum and just kick it, and it'll go 60-yard field goal. But all you got to do is kick it up in the air, and it'll go. Right, Jacob?
The fact that there is a vortex created a crown on the sun, bringing everything into one point, is very, very symbolic and I think important. So, on to...
Wow. Brings it all to one point. It's kind of funny how the Chiefs are being given 1.5 points, which means they would technically win the game. Well, Vegas wins. Vegas wins, you lose, Eagles win. They suck your money dry. But hey, at least you get the Super Bowl of the Eagles winning. Because having 8 field goals sure is a boring game. But 8 field goals equals 24 dead sheep. So it's not the fact that Kleck's channel got shut down because of some kind of medical misinformation. It's because I believe 24 sheep, even though I was already leaning in that direction towards 24, just seeing the number confirms it for me, is that because the heliport is 4-4, well, it can be, but it could be 24 points total in field goals, which equals 8 3-pointers. 888, 17 JFK, 3/8, Jonathan Kleck, Gematria. 24 points in field goals plus 1, which would be 7. Because all of these games, what's the common denominator? Common denominator is right here. Patrick Mahoney's number, 15. And Jalen Hurts number 1, which is 1 above, which is 16. 15 and 1, it's 1 up. They win by 1. It's the Chiefs are the seed number 1, Eagles are the seed number 1. So it only makes sense. It comes down to the final play of the game where the Eagles win by 1. But how do they win? Here's the different ways. Chiefs, Eagles. Let's start with field goals first. 3. All right. Eagles get 3. And then 6. And then, very similar to the San Francisco and 49ers game that I didn't even know that they played this exact rollout, as I was saying, 6-9 at halftime. And then 9-9. And then 12-9. And then 12-15. Now the Eagles are down by 6, and it's the fourth quarter, and there's 1 minute left. And then what they do is they tie it up with a field goal, touchdown, because it's 7. All before this, it could be a world war of 3-point field goals, 8 of them. And then they kick the extra point, and they win the game by 1 point. But the Chiefs win, technically, because they got a 1.5. Tim Jean, World War III and 2 more wars, Dr. Gene Kim. Look at how similar that is to Liberty 1 and Liberty 2. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Look at. Man, that is similar. Oh, and look at the building here. It looks like the building that's called the William Penn Building. And it just looks like it's reaching over with these little doohickeys at the top. And you have 2 more world wars, 2 more wars. And it's all about similarities. Look at that. It's even steps. It's even steps. That's frightening that it's so similar. This is just recent, too, like today. All right, so let me just get back to the game that I predicted without even seeing the score and going here. But now, still going with 31 points, but just being scored differently. So they scored, it was 6-9. Then it was 9-9. You got Mr. 19 here. Then it was 16-9. So 16-15 is still possible even in this scenario. Even if they scored 2 more field goals, the same score could happen. But instead, look at that. The 1 more field goal, and it would have been exactly what I'm saying the Super Bowl is going to be, because it's just hard to believe that they would score 19-12 twice. But because there's twins, and they both became 1, the Kleck twins. But 1 more point, and they would have scored the same exact score. But instead, the San Francisco 49ers scored 19-12, and then that was it. That was the final score. And then all the tie-ins with 31 and 31 and 24 and 7, winning by 7 and winning by 7 and winning by 31 and total 31, winning by 7, scoring 31, only scoring 7, giving up only 3, the Chiefs. So the 31 minus the 7 is 24. 23 minus 20 is 3, so it's 24 points from 3-point field goals, which makes it 3-8s, 8 3-pointers, 24 points, and then plus 7 total, which would make it 31. So the next game is good. The next game would be total of what the Eagles scored. The next game would be totaled of what, subtracting of what Eagles scored. They scored 38 minus 7, they would score 31. Take the 7 minus from 31, it's 24. The total points of field goal is 24. But the total points of the game's 31. Because it was 38 there, and it was 38-1 there. And all these teams just happened to score 31 points. And then when the Eagles played San Francisco, they scored first. Then it's tie, 14-7, 21-7, 28-7. They pulled away easily. 3-point field goal. Of course, it was how many yards? 31. Unibet. You bet. 38 total, because that's so far 38. They scored 31-7, and that was the end of the game. 31-7, which is 3/8 total. 3/8 total is what they scored 38 with the Giants. So when they played the Giants, which was back in reverse because they played them first, they just blew them out of the water. Not even a game, 38-7. Chiefs, Jags, 7-7, 10-7, 17-7, 17-10. So they pretty much had the... Kansas City wasn't down at all. Just like the Eagles weren't down at all. 27-20. So they win by 7. Then they play Cincinnati, who's in the Petco 2. So they weren't down either. Eagles weren't down, right? No, Eagles scored first. Yep. Neither team was down. So that means whatever team goes down is going to come back. Whoever goes down is going to come back. So now it's 3-6. I mean, it's 3-0, 6-0, 3-6, 13-3, 13-6. That's as close as it got as a tie, 13-13. But they still took the lead. They tied again. There was a flag at the end. They kicked a 23-yard field goal to give them their final score, 23. Just like the Eagles scored a 31-point field goal to give them their final score. Oh, well, that one's from 45. What was that, 30? The ball goes all the way to the 23. I see. So it went to the 23-yard line, which was going to be their final score. The Eagles when they kicked their final score, it was a 31-yard field goal, which made it final score 31. So neither one of these teams were down in the playoffs at all. Now we have the herd. Colin Coward, bold predictions. What he's saying is, against those late boxes, and I like the Eagles. Next story, Coward. Eagles love to win the second Super Bowl. Roman soldier piercing the eagle, the king of the air. They have remained 1.5 point favorites. That line has not moved. That's Skip telling you. Skip Bayless. Right, he's gonna ride with the Chiefs. I think they're gonna win a close game. Just go with opposites. Everything everybody says, opposites. Man, I've been going back and forth with this one. Well, besides that part, because the game can be going back and forth because it's really tight, really close game. I'm going to take Patrick Mahomes to win his second Super Bowl in 5 years. What he really meant was the Eagles' second Super Bowl, period, in 5 years. Buckner kicks to walk off. He's picking 34-31 Kansas City wins. He just gave you the final score and, well, he gave you the total score, 31. Absolutely. So you got the over-under going way over, which means it's way low. Everybody's picking over. Stayed right there for 2 straight weeks, right with Philly by 1.5. So he didn't understand why it would be 1.5. The biggest reason the Eagles will win this game will be Jalen Hurts, is what Skip's saying. So he's talking about, that final play of the game, that either one of two things happens. It either gets the Eagles down to the point where they can kick a field goal as they're down 15-13, and then they kick that 1 point. It's going to go through because they got a freaking vortex. There's a vortex taking place. Just ask Jacob Israel. He'll tell you all about the vortex.
Very significant. I actually took to Twitter to talk about all of this, and because what a vortex is like it's like a vacuum.
Forming a crown around your head.
You probably, you in the shower.
I mean, like one of those. It's pretty tough to hold that thing up. I'll tell you, you're gonna need some help, Jacob.
The drain plug is a vortex is like I think it's very significant. I actually took to Twitter to talk about all of this, and because what a vortex is like
it formed a crown around your head.
It's like a vacuum.
Your head?
Okay? Bringing everything into one point. Look at what this looks like, because I really found this very interesting. Let me see if I can just pull this up really quick. It's been a minute since I've it's been a minute.
1 minute left in the fourth quarter. 1 point game. 1 minute in the fourth quarter. 1 point game. Eagles win. Number 1 seed versus number 1 seed. and it only takes 1 point to win, but the Chiefs get 1.5, so they win in Vegas, even though they lose. Eagles win, Philadelphia, and it looks like Liberty 1 and Liberty 2 are going to get hit next, according to Kim Jean, too, showing you those Twin Towers, because there's 2 wars coming up after World War III. In Super Bowl 57, kicking all those field goals.
With the whirling or circular motion that forms a cavity or a vacuum in the center of it to draw everything to this, because it's subject to the action of the vortex itself. Ironically, the word vortex is in Scripture. It's actually used as the word whirlwind, also as a torrent, also as a maelstrom. But vortex is 100% found in Scripture, and in many places. This little thing that I put out in 2 Kings, as they were talking along and talking together, suddenly, this is about Elijah, a chariot of fire and horses of fire appeared and separated the two of them. And Elijah went up to heaven in a whirlwind, a vortex. So the fact that a piece of the sun is broken off and formed a crown-like vortex, it's cool stuff. Let's take a look at what this looks like, because I really found this very interesting. Let me see if I can just pull this up really quick. It's been a minute since I've been on here. This is from weather.com. Let me pull down here and let's just take a look at this. This is kind of cool. Take a look at the top as this plays. If it plays, who knows? With my computer the way things are. Wow, look at that. The filament breaks off.
Filament, Philadelphia.
Let's look at it again.
Filament.
And it just starts to swirl around like a crown.
What?
Now, who knows if any of this is real, right? Some people are telling me it's not even real. It's not.
So he's saying Jalen Hurts. Game will be Jalen Hurts, and I believe it will also be close and high scoring, which is low scoring. Okay. Though not quite to your level. I'm going to go with 30-27. So he's going to go with 57 points, even though he hates the Eagles. But what he's going to go with is 30, 1 point less than 30 than the total, and 27. So he's saying they're going to win by 3. I say they win by 1. That way Vegas gets their money. Eagles 16-1 with Hurts this season, so 16 being the final score, minus 1 would be 15, and that's what Mahoney gets. Plus, Hurts is number 1, and then Mahoney's 15, but with the Eagles getting 16 and Mahoney 15, well, then they lose by 1. But the score, he's predicting 31. See? He hates the Eagles. Rise to the occasion, but in the end, it's going to be Jalen Hurts. You know, Skip is going to have he's very reputable and credible, so he's going to have some of the things that he says is going to actually come true. In the end, tight game, close game, it's going to come down to Jalen Hurts. This is stage is set for Super Bowl 57, Glendale, Arizona, the Chiefs and Eagles, Kansas, between the 6th and the 9th hour. It's going to be a Super Bowl seeking 3-point conversions. Venue, the line in Vegas remains 1.5 points favoring the Eagles, with the total sitting at 51. So reverse that, 15 being the Chiefs. Genius throwing at score 37-34. That's what they're saying. Going to have 3 segments where each guy is going to give out 4 props. Now, the way this language sounds, they're giving out 3 segments, 3-point field goals. Each guy is going to get 4 props, 4 going through the field goal post. That would line up with the 12-12 that I was saying, and then the Eagles score 7 at the end to make it a 19-12, and then that would be the second 9/11, because if you support Jonathan Click through his PayPal and his zip code, I believe it's 92801 or something along those lines, or 91208 or 9, I forget what it is, but he has second 9/11 in there. With off with a jacker off, but off with Jarek off, yeah. So off with Jarek off McKinnon, longest run under 7.5 minus, so -7 could be the 19-12 score. Under 7.5 minus $1.30.50 to be told. What the hell are they talking about? $1.30, 35, 5 threes, 5 3.35s, 5 3-point field goal conversions for the Chiefs. Try to kick this is what the guys, they're doing these props. And he's saying, try to find every kicker or punter prop just to fire Pete up. As he's referencing kickers and the 3s and the 7.5. And then what I said was, is that Eminem? Because it looks like Eminem. And then after the fact, I seen that John Wise did some video about Eminem, but I think he did it beforehand. It's not one of those things where you look at it, you say something, and then you look at a video later on, it's exactly what you just said when you didn't even know, like 19-12, Dallas and San Francisco. So we're going to the double the field goals for Todd for a minute. So for a minute, Jacob hasn't been around for a minute. It's 1 minute left. Jalen Hurts, MVP, takes it to the house, or takes it down and gets the score. Where we're talking about 1.5. It's 2:12 a.m., February 11th, 2023. I almost forgot to give the date. So he's saying, get the best of it here. My cutoff, this prop is 61.5. He's saying his prop is cut off 61. Flip that over, it's 16.5. Technically, that's what the Chiefs' total score would be to Vegas when they score 15, is 16.5. And that's the cutoff, meaning 31 tanks and stop counting, Robin. This prop is 61.5. This is more about game script than anything. Yeah, tell me that. I'm trying to figure out this damn script. Especially if you think Philly's going to win. I'm going to follow you on this one. Philly win 1. Philly win 1. WinTZ. Just a heads up. Just want to let you guys know. So they're going to win 1. Philly win by 1. What do you got here? Out there for Sanders as well, but then again, Todd. Now I'm looking at this 1.5. How many? 1.135, 13.5. Not sure why I really screenshotted that one. Oh, talking about the 61 in a hook. There in terms of the buy price. When you listen to these people talk, they don't even make sense. But if you take a 61 in a hook, I'll just assume it's like a hook is something that you grab onto and you hook it or flip it or turn it around, which turns into a 16. And because the Kansas City Chiefs are getting 1.5, even though they're not saying that here, but it's, pick the under from 49.5 to 49 because it's going to be 31. And the Chiefs are going to get 1.5 because you take a 61, you hook it, turn it to a 16. And everything they can to take it away at 5, 6. Does Tom Cruise tower over you? 5 to 6. Not sure. Maybe that was 5 field goals. Todd talking about 61 and a hook. There's a term. Going to get to 7 or 8 in this game. So 7 or 8 field goals. Eminem's talking about. I bet you that's probably him. That's why I have to fade in a minus a buck. Minus $1.84. You mentioned this. $1.84 minus. Isn't that much fun? Or isn't that it isn't that much fun. I'd love nothing more than to have 8 props. Who the hell wants 8 field goals? It's not that much fun when you see that. From these two guys, the field goal kickers, be able to fade all of them, but I actually agree. Eminem wants to make a case for the last block for him going over rushing attempts, but I don't. A last block. Now, I took that as the possibility of a blocked field goal when the Chiefs are getting ready to nail down the win, and then the Eagles block it. Holmes is going to end up winning the MVP. 4. He's going to throw 4. No, he's not. Maybe 4 field goals. And Homer Simpson will be MVP at the end of the Florida. But outside, I think he's going to get 4 touchdown passes in this game. So he's thinking 4 field goals. Retail short touchdown passes, but Philly wins the game by 2. Oh, he's saying, is this where you say that they win by 2? Well, no. They'll win by 1. Like 42-28 or something along those lines. Which would be 70 altogether. And then that's the end of it here. All the tie-ins together. With the winning by 3. Dolphins. Joseph found his brother's dolphin. 31. The only game that they won by 1, and they won by 3. 31, winning by 17. They win by 7. Giants, 31. They win by 7. They win by 7. 3, 1, and 18. To 12, 31. 27-17, they win by 17. 38-7. So they lost 6 by 31. 27-20, they win by 7. They only score 7 because they only gave up 7. Just like they only gave up 7 in the next game as they scored 31, which is 7 31 tie-ins. And then the 8th 31 tie-ins would be the final amount total points in Super Bowl 57. That would make it 8 31 tie-ins. They win by 3. And it's because it's 8 tie-ins. 8 31s would be the final 31 points. And then 8 3-point conversions, which would make it 24 field goals altogether. 31 minus 7 is 24. 8 3-point field goals, 24 points. As you have your second win by 1 throughout the whole playoffs. Along with your, so that's 8 31s, and the tie-ins with the 7s, winning by 7, 19 to 12, 49ers, 31 total. 38 only gave up 7. 4 7s. 27-20, they won by 7. That's 5 7s. And then the Eagles only gave up 7. That's 6 7s. And then when the 7th angel begins to sound, it doesn't mean necessarily that the Eagles are going to win by 7, 19 to 12, although that could be, even though I predicted already without even knowing that was there. It's still, it blows my mind, but also saying a 6-9 halftime score without seeing it. But I don't know if that's good or bad, because what are the odds that the same score will happen, just in a different way? So I've narrowed it down to the 2, really, 19 to 12, 16 to 15. I like that 12-12 with 1 minute left, and then it's a game-winning touchdown that ices it and seals it for the Eagles. But I also like how they can just win by 1, being down by 2. 15 to 17, it's back and forth. They scored a touchdown early, but then again, World War III, 3-point field goal conversions, I like it better where it's either 12-12 and then they get 1 touchdown in the end, or it's 15 to 12 and the Eagles get, Jalen Hurts takes them all the way down to get to the area of kicking a field goal, and all you got to do is kick it up in the air. The Vortex will just take it, guaranteed. Even if they don't make it, a flag will be thrown just in case, to make sure that they get another try and even closer. So it's 6 sevens. Right now it's 6 sevens tie-ins and 7 31s tie-ins. With the total score being 31, which would be 8 tie-ins altogether to seal the deal. And then when the 7th angel begins to sound, that mystery shall be finished. But if they win 19-12, then that would be 7. That would be 7 sevens and 8 tie-ins of 31. So that's the main number patterns right now. Trying to crack the code on Super Bowl 57 and just nail it down play by play. It's February 11th. And if I didn't have work every day, I would get so much work done that I would be ahead of the schedule. There's times I feel like I'm so far behind because of the amount of information. Hey, Robin, your brother wants to help you out. Does that fit? That fits pretty good, doesn't it? Thanks, bro. Thanks, bro. That's a little dark here. Dark in here. Oh, yeah. I just had a great idea. Mine's just the old 9/11, second 9/11s, Liberty 2, Liberty 1, Chase Bank, 17th and JFK, Philly, Liberty 1, Liberty 2, 5:55 a.m., 8:48 a.m., Morrow, Build Back Better, 2/19, 12/19, look at that, 12/19/2022, and 12/19 was one of the football games.